All right. Well, welcome to the next episode of the Believer podcast. I'm here with Shay today. I just want you to kind of introduce yourself, tell us what your journey has been from when you were young to now, kind of what your story is.
Yeah. So my name's Shay Watson. Currently, I'm a Master's of Athletic Training student at Ohio University, which is in Athens, Ohio, so like 30 minutes from West Virginia. Um, yeah, my story up until now is I was born to a head football athletic and a collegiate football coach, which, as you all can imagine, is probably very stressful for the both of them, especially because I'm an end of September baby. Um, and so I always grew up in college athletics, whether it was being in the athletic training room with my mom or on the football field with my dad, hanging out with student athletes. Student athletes being my babysitters growing up. It's been a great journey. I'm the oldest of three, so I have a younger brother who's 21 right now, or he'll be 21 in January, and he's at Butler University in the Indianapolis area. And then a younger sister who's 16, who's playing soccer, and I saw her play yesterday in her high school tournament. Got my undergrad degree from Benedictine University in the Chicagoland area. Go Eagles. Last May in 2025. So uh, my bachelor's degree is in exercise and sports science, with a minor in sports management as well. Played volleyball there for 4 years. Played volleyball and softball in high school for all 4 years, being a dual sport athlete. Would love to have played basketball, but basketball is not my sport. Don't put a basketball in my hand. Um, but yeah, kind of figuring out that I wanted to still be in the sports industry and be the next name in um, college athletics alongside my parents was something that meant a lot for me. But at the same time, our last name, because my parents are so well known and so well loved and liked, um, it's allowed me a lot of avenues in my journey that if you want me to get into, I'll get into. But long story short, I've earned my way though, but thankful for what my family and what God has given me recently.
For sure. What does athletic training mean to you then? And how have you enjoyed your little journey with that in school and doing all that?
Yeah, so like I said, I grew up around athletic training. I think the world perception of athletic trainers is it's something that doctors can do, physicians can do, your PT OTs can do, your paramedics can do.
Mm-hmm.
And in actuality, it's a combination of all those things. So I always tell people like, yes, athletic trainers are rehabilitation specialists. Like we rehab student athletes back to be able to get back to where they are. We rehab, industry professionals that you look at, construction workers and all that stuff to be able to get back to what they're able to do. But on the same part of that, a physician isn't going to be able to know what happens when we have another Damar Hamlin case.
Facts.
Who's a football player, for those of you that don't know that are watching this, the football player that went down with a cardiac condition. Basically, weird, freaky thing. It's like very medically rare to have happened. He basically got hit at the exact moment that his heart was kind of in the middle of beating, caused it to stop. Huge rush on field. I'm pretty sure it was all over the news too. Um, but athletic trainers were the people in that case going, hey, stop, play. Hey, we're doing CPR, we're doing those things. And so, as much as I give grace to those that go through a lot of schooling to be able to do a lot of other things, athletic trainers are kind of the junk drawer of the sports med world, I like to say. But I loved every minute of it. For me, it's being able to be an advocate and be a voice for those individuals that don't feel they have one.
Mm-hmm.
I think recently we see a lot of, and the older people that are watching this probably know more, like when heat related illnesses come out and we see that kids die from heat related illness. I'm one of those people that I'm like, I'm gonna step in and I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're a male or a female, like that sort of stuff. Like
Yeah.
I'm instantly gonna be like, this is unsafe. It's 98 degrees outside. Kids cannot practice. Or if they are, like, we're taking water breaks, we're taking whatever. But if I know that I'm gonna be outside to stop it. Um, Also, when it comes to injury, I had my own injury in high school. I had a hip flexor strain.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was very, very painful. I never want to wish that upon my worst enemy. It became hard to even just walk on level ground, getting upstairs, getting downstairs, trying to get in my car, let alone play the sport of volleyball where I'm 5'5", so like love to say I have the hops to be a hitter, but I do not. So I was a DS libero and like primarily having been in a squat position was not great for me.
I can imagine.
And I had an athletic trainer that didn't think I was lying, but thought I was doing more to get out of our practice because our head coach was intense in high school and ended up becoming a worse injury than what it was. Didn't advocate for me for my with my head coach. We ran a lot. Which looking on back now was like great when I got into college that like every one of my other teammates kind of was like really like out of breath and I was like, "Oh, this is a breeze. Hit me with more." Um but when it came to that advocacy in terms of, "Hey, Shay can't do this because it's painful." She kind of took the back road a little bit and was like, well, she can still do it, but if she rounds it instead of just having a straight cut and go. And I'm like, if I knew then what I knew now, absolutely not. Like
Hmm.
I shouldn't have been doing anything remotely of the sport. Um, so I don't want to have kids that have that other experience, especially in high school, where the high school I went to in Western Indiana is right, you can't cut kids. Like our school's so small that like whoever tries out for the team is the team. Like there's no reason to have tryouts. Um, and so for a school like mine, like I get it. There are kids there, right, that are doing it because mom and dad says you're not just going to stay at home and sit on your butt and watch Cartoon Network all day. Um, but it wasn't me trying to get out of stuff. So I want to be that advocate. Started my own DEIB, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging program from that experience called
Okay.
Unity Day. So basically, interactive, fun ways. I use candy, I use trivia games, I use um, whiteboards, worksheets, that sort of stuff to kind of teach people that it's okay to be authentically you.
Hmm.
And when you think about DEIB, it's not just race. It is religion. It is sexuality. It is are you a practicing person, religious that goes to church every Sunday? Or are you somebody that like goes when you can? Or are you somebody that believes but doesn't go at all? Like there's so much broad spectrum. And I think in the recent years we've gotten so tunnel visioned on what that means that I really found that athletic training was kind of the loophole that kind of got to everybody in that space.
Hmm.
Um, Especially because the athletic training room, I always say is like Gossip Girl. If anyone has ever watched
Hey,
that
it
TV
sure
show,
it sure is.
like your athletic trainers know everything and everything. And it's not because you want them to, but it's because of the type of trust we have to build with athletes that allows you to feel safe in that space to open up. And so I really wanted to be able to help those student athletes, especially with those that battle mental health and, are going through things, especially I was an out-of-state kid at the college I went to.
Hmm.
My sophomore year, my grandfather tragically passed away due to Parkinson's and lymphoma cancer. And it was really hard. It was going into spring ball. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't want my team to know because I am very a don't ask for help type of person. I'm very hyper independent,
Hmm.
and I didn't want them to see me struggling. And so the only people that knew were my three best friends on the team because my mom called the three of them and said, "Hey, Shay doesn't know yet, but I'm going to tell her." My head coach, who is a family friend of ours, who my mom also called to say, "Hey, like she doesn't know yet, but she's about to." Um, and then my head athletic trainer at Benedictine and our volleyball trainer at the point because I didn't have anyone else I could talk to.
Hmm.
And it was nice that both of them had gone through something similar and were like, "Hey, like if you ever need to like hide or you need to like you feel like you're so overcome with emotion that like you need an out, just blame us." Like I remember Nate and Bella were like, just fake a cramp. Like we'll get you out. Like we will do whatever is necessary. So I
Sure.
kind of want to be that person for other student athletes.
Yeah, cause no, cause I played at Mercer. I played basketball at Mercer, so I'm still friends in Western, but I'm still friends with two of my athletic trainers that I had, and
Yeah.
I've had kind of both like good athletic trainers, and I've had some that have been bad, and kind
Yeah.
of been scared of our head coach and made me play through like I have two herniated discs in my back now, and they kind of made me play through that before I knew I had that, but I knew something was wrong,
Yeah.
and so long story short, I feel like I wouldn't be where I'm at if that was handled a little differently.
Yeah.
I'd be able to play basketball overseas and blah blah blah. But anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I definitely understand the safe space that athletic trainers are for
Yeah.
real. Because I like one of my, I'm probably gonna invite one of my old athletic trainers to my wedding one in about 2 years. So
Yeah.
I definitely understand that part. And so what is sports and volleyball meant to you like over the years? What has being an athlete meant to you?
Oh gosh. Um, I think not the nice answer, but I think the simple answer is it's taught me to be me. Um, like I stated, where I'm from in Indiana is not culturally diverse
Mm-hmm.
at all. I was originally born in the Chicagoland area, and then when my mom got the job as an athletic director, we moved to Indiana for her job. Um, and I am a biracial woman. That's what I identify as. My dad is African American and my mom is white. And during, pretty sure my other light skins on the call would agree with me that like certain parts of the year you look extremely more white than you do in the summertime. Um, and so, from getting the looks in Walmart to this Hayes, my first 2 years of high school, didn't have a great experience.
Mm,
But it taught me that no matter what was going on outside, as soon as I stepped foot on the court or on the dirt, it was my place that my skill and my stats could speak for themselves. I didn't have to speak for me.
yeah.
So I was always the girl that was cheering on everybody else. I was always the good teammate. I was always the person that was able to fill any role that was needed. Whether that was like laying my body on the line for like a dig or robbing a home run in center field when I was in high school to carrying a snack bag or carrying a med bag or making sure that our water bottles got there safely. Um, I think that sport taught me so much about being able to give to others and not expect something back. I didn't do all of those things because I was like, oh, maybe if coach sees me carrying the jersey bag or carrying the med bag or cheering, it's going to get me my place sooner on rather than later, right? A chance to showcase what I can skill wise. It was, I wanted to practice like I could play, and I wanted to show my coaches that and my teammates that I could do the job that they needed me to do and to rely on me. I think also now that I'm post grad and a NARP, if you will, quote unquote, that time management, being able to handle a lot on my plate, being able to say yes to a lot of things, but still deliver high quality work
Mm-hmm.
when I have 6 to 8 things on my plate, being able to work two full-time jobs pretty much while in grad school and studying for classes and going to clinical and making sure that I'm um I think sports and volleyball were able to allow me to kind of focal point all that stuff and make it less chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think also it's allowed me to build a lot of relationships. I can't remember the exact term, but whatever it is when you're an extrovert and you're an introvert at the same time. Um, I'm very introverted, and if you meet any of my friends or family, they will tell you that's a lie, but it's not. I'm very quiet. I like my me time. I'm not a big like go out, throw a rager, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I can be very extroverted when I want to be, and I learned that through sport because if you weren't extroverted at, the little kids camps, more than
Facts.
likely you didn't have a partner. And if you didn't have a partner, then you were with the big girls, and then it was like, I don't want to be with the big girls. Like I want to be with somebody that's my age. And then you go to lunch and then you're sitting, right? Like everyone ends up having their little groups and you're kind of just sat there like, well, I don't have a group. Like this is weird. And so I learned that like I had to kind of put the introvertedness aside when I was at these things and be able to kind of be the person that connects all the dots.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have never stayed in one group. If you ask any of my friends now, they all are in separate friend groups. Um, that are totally opposite from each other, but able to kind of jump around and bring everyone together to kind of be like, hey, we gotta communicate to make this work, please and thank you. Um, I think has been like the most amazing thing that volleyball has taught me. I think everyone knows everyone in the world of sports. And so I'm grateful, like I said, that my parents are so well loved and have won so many things and have done things for so many other people that now being their child, I was at the NACDA convention in June and I have so many additional aunts and uncles that are like, oh my God, what is Shay doing now? Or like other industry professionals that are like, I know you from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll look at my name tag and they're like, you're Stevie's kid. Oh my God. How are you? I saw that on Facebook. You're doing this. And I'm like, yes, I am. I've never met you in my life, but here I am, right? Like I'm Stevie's kid. Um, that it, no matter where they are in the country, I always have people on my side and are speaking up in rooms for me that I'm not even in.
Mm-hmm. No, that's hey, that's always good. It's always good to have people looking out for you no matter where you are. And then what would you kind of tell the youth that's coming up in softball and athletic training and just trying to weave their way around and figure things out? What would you tell them?
Don't don't be afraid to be authentically you and find the thing that makes you memorable. And best advice I ever got before one of my first like official conventions on my own in a professional setting and not just like the baby that mom was walking around and giving her own like deals and talks with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, find something that when you send that email a week or two later after meeting an individual, they even if they don't remember your name, they're going to remember something about you. So for me, that is, I like fun colors. I'm a fun color girly. I have probably everything but an orange suit at this point
Dang.
to wear to some sort of thing. So I will wear the bright colored suit, the funky colored suit. I will wear fun earrings. Like I have five piercings in each ear, so I don't deck out all 10, but I deck out like the first two. I'll wear a funky pair of earrings. I'll wear a funky pair of heels, or I'll wear sneakers like Kohans or Dunks or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, if I go up and I introduce myself and I send that email later, I could say like, "Hey, it was great to meet you at the NACDA convention 2 weeks ago. Really enjoyed, your panel on NIL and investment of student athletes. Um, Thank you for answering my question about how, as an athletic trainer, I can better guide individuals on NIL. I really appreciate your comment about my yellow suit. Great, would love to connect in the future if you have any time. Best regards, Shay Watson." And
Mm-hmm.
usually I get the email back that's like, "Yeah, your suit was great." And they could not even remember my name. But because I was in a yellow suit and everybody else is in like blues and blacks and plaids, I stick out.
Facts.
And so for me, best advice I ever got was find the thing that still stays true to authentically being you, but allows you to be memorable when you send that email 2 weeks later.
Oh, I like that. I'm definitely gonna have to steal that. I am for sure gonna have to do that. And then what's been one of the most challenging moments of your life, and how did you get through it?
Oh gosh. Um, is it bad that there's so many? No, I'm kidding. I think one that doesn't have to deal with sport is my dad when I was 8 years old, was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
Mm.
Um, and so went from, regular morning at school, waking up, I was in class, to all of a sudden I remember that day very vividly of getting called down to the office saying that I need my things. And I was like, oh, right, like maybe there's a dentist appointment, right? Like something I had forgotten about.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandparents picked me up. And I was even more confused because I was like, what are Grandma and Pa doing here? Had my sister was not even a year old at this point. Um, and my brother was at preschool, and they were both in the car. And I asked my grandma, I'm like, where are we going? She's like, your mom needs to see you. And she's upset. And I'm, again, right, as an 8-year-old, you're confused.
Mm-hmm.
Um, got to where my mom was, and my mom sat us, me and my brother down and told us that dad was very, very sick. And they were transferring him to Rush Copley in Chicago. And we didn't know how long he was going to be there. We didn't know how progressive it was at that point. And but dad wasn't coming home for a while. And I think as an 8-year-old, it's hard 'cause you don't understand why.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you're not at the age, right, where like even explaining something like that to you is gonna make any sense. Um, and so that was just hard. I mean, I did half days at school, I think, up until Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
probably, I think. Um, because I would go in the morning and like get all the stuff I needed to, and then was at the hospital spending time with my dad. Um, and I think that was just, I mean, even now it's hard to recall the stuff. He's in remission. Let me say that before I continue on this
That
stop
is
story.
good.
He's
That
in
is good.
remission. He's been in remission since 2012. Um, but I think I really overcame it just by trusting that, what he was telling us when he was in the hospital bed. My dad grew up a Catholic, so he wore a St. Christopher's medal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so now I wear a St. Christopher's medal as well. I don't take it off unless I absolutely have to. Um, and I think that, you know, Exodus 23:20, which is a tattoo I'm getting soon, you know, says, I sent an angel to guide you on this journey to essentially where I am leaving you at the end. And I think that because he believed so much that I trusted the process, and I trusted that the doctors knew what they were doing. Um, his brother, my Uncle Kurt, is an anesthesiologist, so also hearing the reassurance from him of, he's going to be okay. They're doing the right things. Tests, this number is looking good. This number is looking good. Um, and then he surprised us by coming home. Um, and then helping him through the recovery journey. So a Whipple done. So basically an incision stick through belly button. Um, and then a port to kind of drain everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And so helping him, change that dressing and make sure the staples were all good, and walking with him when he had the IV cart, like all of that stuff, I think was like, holy crap. Like my dad's a, excuse my language, but is a badass.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he can get through that, like there's probably nothing that I can't get through. And I took that with me, and that's like the promise I made to myself is like, I want to be the next name in sports in case, at that point, God forbid something did happen to him.
Yeah.
Wanted to be the next Baker Watson in college sports. And then after my grandfather passing away and I wasn't able to come home, um, to see the cremation and to do all the things of I was up for an NCAA scholar or not scholarship, internship at that point to do D1 women's golf. And I was like, I'm gonna do my all to get this. and I ended up getting it. And now it's just continued on a track of everything I'm doing is for Pa, who's no longer here, who's watching me from above, and everything that I promised my dad that I would do and I still can do, um, kind of as a thank you for both of them being such strong male role models in my life.
Mm-hmm. That's really good. And then on a happier note, what's one of the best memories you have?
Oh, um, I would have to say a couple months ago when I got told that I would have the opportunity to work with, Indiana University football.
Oh,
At
that's
the
big
same
time.
time, I got told that I received the McLendon Foundation scholarship, which is $10,000 given to about 10-ish, 11-ish, I think, different students that are going into post grad in the sports industry. And that's $10,000 that I can use to pay off the second year of grad school, so I'm not paying anything out of pocket.
That's big
Thank the
time.
Lord. But I think too, like with the Indiana University football, is like Indiana University has their own Masters of Athletic Training program. Um, Not that they don't take outsiders, but I knew it was going to be a task for me to say, hey, like you already have help
Mm-hmm.
coming in from your own program. Would you let an outsider come in? And I remember I interviewed and I was just like, I want to be a football AT. It's something that I've grown up doing. It's something I love. I love the game. Um, and I would love to learn from a staff like yours. And I got an email 2 days later and they were like, yep, we'll take you on. I was like, you'll take me on? I'm like, okay. Also, before they won the Natty. So
Mm-hmm.
I was really just like whatever ends right, like whatever ends up happening happens. Like I don't care. It's a Big Ten team. And now that they've won and being able to be in that athletic trainer, the guys are hilarious. They're all such great individuals. My preceptors are amazing and they're such great teachers that I'm learning so much that I'm just happy that I have the experience to even put that on a resume to say, yes, I was with Indiana football. So yeah.
So, okay, you like football. So, what's your favorite NFL team and your favorite college football team? That's not Indiana.
Okay.
If you had to
Yeah,
pick
I'm
another one.
not an Indiana girly. So sorry to my Colts fans out there. Love you. I am a Chicago Bears fan. I've always been a Chicago Bears fan, which is very scary to admit nowadays. I was actually ashamed to admit that I was until this past year, and I was like, yes, we beat the Packers. Finally. Um, so yeah, go Bears, always, 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 always go Bears. Um, my favorite college football team. Uh, we've been a Go Blue family for a while.
Okay.
Love my Michigan Wolverines. Uh, Now that I'm with Indiana though, I gotta say IU. Like I think if any of the
Facts.
guys see this and I only said Michigan, I think I'm gonna get called out in the ATR the next time they see me. Um, but I mean, yeah, up until now it was Michigan. Post this though, go Hoosiers all the way.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you said about being a Bears fan. It's nothing worse than being a Falcons fan. I'm just saying. We go through pain
That
every
is
week.
true. That is true. Blowing that lead you had in the Super Bowl is like,
Oh, we've been trashed since then. And it
yeah.
hurts the heart. Okay, and then what is something if you could go back and tell your younger self?
Oh, it's okay that people that look like you haven't achieved the ambitions that you have. Not gets told nowadays of, oh, well, I have to see someone like me do it. And in reality, there's only one you. People may look like you, people may look similar to you, but there's only one you. And I dwelled so hard on the fact that there was not a biracial woman that was as light as I was with who loved her curly hair that was sitting at the top of a podium winning awards in athletics. Um But now I've learned that there's only one Shay. There's only one person that has my skin color. There's only one person that went through the 10 years of a hair journey I did to get to love to her curly hair, to not want to straighten it. That I have different goals and ambitions and a different journey to be on the pedestal that I want to be on. So just because someone doesn't look like you and doesn't, but has the same pedestal that they've reached, doesn't mean that the goals and ambitions were the same.
No, I love that. That's big time. And then, what does the word believer mean to you?
I think for me, having the unwavering belief, I'm gonna be one of those dictionary people, use the word in the definition, belief that you can do everything that you want to be capable of doing. If you believe that you can be president of the United States one day,
Mm-hmm.
what's stopping you from doing that? Obviously, other than the laws in place. Maybe that was a bad example. But like I used to believe that some things were unobtainable due to the experience I was getting, where I was located, what my resume said when comparing to others. Um, but I think that part of believing is having the unwavering self-confidence that no matter what happens, you're gonna end up where you want to end up in the end.
Mm-hmm. No, I believe I definitely agree with that, and just keep believing in yourself, no matter what people talk about, what people say, and things like that.
Yeah.
And then, so each time someone's on the podcast, they leave a question. The last person left, who is God to you?
He is someone that sees me in my darkest times. Um, Someone that hears me no matter if I'm talking to him or not. Um, and somebody that will always be in my corner when needed, when called upon, when I don't think that there is light anymore at the end of my tunnel. He will always have an answer. And that answer will always be maybe not something I always want to hear, but something that I need to hear to grow and to continue on his stepping stone journey he has for me.
I like that. And then, what is something that you would want to leave for the next person?
Oh gosh. This is tough, especially on the spot. I think I would say, hmm, what inspiration spoke deeply to you that has led you to where you are?
Okay, and then I'm gonna ask you to answer that one also.
Oh gosh. I would say that it is all my additional aunties and uncles in the sports industry that I get to watch still accomplish things to this day. Um and I mean, I have an additional auntie right now that works at the NCAA that's getting her doctor's degree, like her doctorate. She's in the last semester. And it's like every day there's an update. And she's like, we completed this today. I'm defending my dissertation. I'm doing this. And like I can't help but smile. Like she went back to school, I think after like 15-ish years.
Mm.
Auntie Didi, don't kill me if that's the wrong answer. Um, but to get it. because she wanted to. She didn't need it. She's doing leading her own office at the NCAA and but was like, no, I want it for me. And like that her and there's so many others that are just doing stuff for themselves and it inspires me that I have to remember that like I'm not doing it for the job. I'm doing it because I want to do it. And
Hmm.
I see that there's worth in doing whatever I'm doing instead of, yeah, I'll get it. More money, right? Add another letter to the end of the name or the beginning of the name. More cash flow.
Yeah.
When not saying that people that do that are wrong, but I've never wanted to do something because it adds more dollar signs or more zeros to the end of a paycheck. And I think it's because of the inspiration of my additional aunties and uncles that are like, nah, we do it for fun. Like, we do it because we've always wanted it. Now we have the capacity to do it. And it's like, that's great. Because I wish I could just decide in 15 years of like, yeah, I'm going to do my doctorate. It's going to be hard, but like, yeah, I'll do it because I want to do it, not because I'm sitting at a cubicle and, you know, some person who may have less qualifications than me is getting paid more just because of the added two letters. So
Yeah.
I think that for sure.
No, I agree. I about to say I'm getting my teaching license now, so I can
Congrats.
have that and be done with everything I need to do to become like a real teacher. So
Yeah.
it's fun. It's interesting. It's fun, but it's going to be rewarding to be able to help the youth and guide people and leave lasting impressions on people. Because some of my teachers when I was in high school, I still know to this day, and
Yeah.
they helped me be the person I am. So.
Yeah.
That's most of the stuff that I had. If you have any questions or want to talk about anything, the floor is open. If you want to talk about anything in the world.
Oh, geez. I don't think talking about anything in the world, but sorry, all the seasonal allergies here in Indiana. Um,
Hey, I feel the same way down here in Georgia.
um, but I think one lasting note is just, I think a lot of people get very tunnel visioned when it comes to talking about having the hard conversations.
Hmm.
Um, which is one of the reasons I started Unity Day was to talk about the hard conversations, but in a fun, mature, getting the data resource out there sort of way that no one wants to have them. It's never a great discussion. It's never a discussion that I think anyone ever wants to have. But I think being able to identify when it is necessary and when it's not necessary. The perfect example I give is being as light as I am. I get asked more times than not, is my hair is also like past my waist length, like it's pretty
Dang.
long. So I get asked like, is my hair real?
Hmm.
Do I have extensions in? Is my hair really this curly? Is it a perm? That's one I get most often. Um, excuse me.
Bless you.
Um, I think there's so much out there that I think people say but don't realize what they. The other one that I get a lot is you're really pretty and smart for a black girl. I'm like,
Mm.
that was great.
That's
That
kind of
last
crazy.
last couple words, right? Like, so if I was right, like, what does that mean?
Yeah. No, I
Because
definitely agree
I
with that.
think I am. I think I am smart. I have a degree and a half right now to show it.
Yep.
I think I am experienced. If you look at my resume compared to other people my age, I'm probably doing a lot more stuff and winning a lot more stuff than a lot of other people my age
Yeah.
are. Um, but I think, and I've been right there with people, like it's sometimes it's not, you don't want to devote your energy to it, right? Like it's like, oh, one-off comment. One-off comment. But I can tell you, I'll be 24 in September, and I've gotten a handful of those
Yeah.
every year. And it's I'm at the point where like you just get tired of it. And so I sat down and I had a conversation and I printed out a whole sheet. And when we talked about microaggressions at my college, when I brought Unity Day to Benedictine, and I was like, I know that some of you don't understand what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. However, this is not a place for me to yell and scream at you. This is a place that when you look at me the next time and you're like, my hair's down, and you're like, oh my God, Shay, is your hair real? Like just think in the back of your mind, right? What you're saying and what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that opens up a lot to people. I always tell people that like if you're scared to ask a question because you're scared of being ridiculed, I will answer all the questions that you have that I'm able to answer.
Mm-hmm.
I am never going to be the quote unquote angry black woman or the mad black woman that's gonna, right? Like you're gonna say something like that and I'm gonna be like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand, like, yada yada. I'm never gonna be that way because all that does is make you more afraid to have a conversation that I'm also afraid to have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to bring up with my best friends, like, hey, every time you ask me if my curly hair is real and you pet me like I'm a dog, I
I've had
don't like it.
I have had that. I have my hair in
I
a thing right now, but I have definitely had people come up and like pet my hair. It's
Yes, oh my God, your hair is so, get your hand away from me. It took me ever to get it like this, right? Like, the curls don't just wake up and produce themselves like this. So, it took me a while. If you touch it and mess it up, I'm gonna be mad. Two, I'm not a dog. Also, three, it feels the same way your hair does. It's just in a different pattern. It feels nothing different. It might smell like different, like coconutty and other products that I might use that are not in your own products, but it feels the exact same way your hair does.
yo.
Um, and so I mean, even now, as at 24 years old, I mean, I was in Bath and Body Works with my dad 2 months ago, I think, and an elderly lady approached him and was like, "Your daughter's hair is so beautiful. Where does she get it permed?" My dad was
Oh.
like, now, keep in mind, I will denote this. My dad is the African American and like my parents is married. My mom is white.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe approaching my mom and saying it, right? Still not appropriate, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt because you're approaching the white lady. But
Yeah.
like you're the math doesn't math to me sometimes when people do that. But and my dad was like, it's not fake, like it's her real hair. And then I got instantly the older one was like, oh my God, but it's so pretty. And I was just standing there and I'm just like, ugh, like I don't, I don't want to do any of it.
Yeah.
Um, but I think also too that I tell people pick and choose their battles. You're
Facts.
not there to change anybody's mind. You're just there to kind of put an earwig in their ear to say, think twice before doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have found that correcting the older generation does you no good because, right, they're 60 plus years old and they were born in a different time than we all were.
Yep.
And they don't understand and they're at I call it past the age of forgiveness. Like they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
They may do it for a week and then it's gone. It's out the brain. Don't try to change it. Someone that's, 30, you can change.
Facts.
You have the choice to, right? Like there's a give and take of some things of like you can think about this a little bit harder before it leaves your mouth sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I just tell people that don't go into a conversation trying to change a mind. Go into a conversation being curious and asking questions. And if you have to start a question of, I don't mean to offend you, but do it.
Yeah.
Because more than likely, if you're talking to the right person, they're going to answer your question. And then after that, I always say, I know you started this way. Like, I don't mean to offend you, but, and then you ask your question. And I'll give my answer. And I'm like, hey, maybe next time, if you're going to ask somebody else's, phrase it like this so it doesn't come off offensive.
Yeah.
Because I'm really nice and I know that you're curious and I know that you're at right, but not everybody's like me. I have some best friends that instantly will turn dimes on people and get mad and get angry and right will be like, why in the heck are you asking me a question like that? Do you know how rude that is? Do you know how
Hmm.
offensive that is? And I'm like, I love y'all. But like you are the reason though that we sit sometimes at girls' nights and we're complaining about some of this stuff happening.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, don't try to change people because changing who they are doesn't do you any good. But having the confidence to ask a question because you're curious about it and you want to learn more is way better than keeping hidden and staying in your own ways, sort of thing.
No, I definitely have some experiences with that, with people touching my hair. Cause I sometimes do this, but I like to mostly just wear my curls out.
Yeah.
And sometimes people come and ask different things or touch my hair, and it's like it's all right because I just laugh it off. But some
Yeah.
people would not do the same thing as I do.
Yeah. I laugh it off now. I have I have some of my white friends that are like, "Why don't you get mad? Like, you don't like when people touch your hair, and we know that." And I'm like, "Because we're out in public too. Like, why am I gonna cause a scene?
Facts,
Like, cause a scene for what?
facts.
To to prove that touching people's hair isn't okay? Like, people, and I equivalent it too. Like, you would never touch a pregnant woman's belly, right? Like, why all of a sudden, if we make it hair and we make it look different, does it give us a right to pet me like I'm your poodle? I'm like, okay, whatever. But I don't wear my hair down a lot because it is so long. And I
Hmm.
kept it long for sports and now I want to cut it. Um, but I keep it up in a bun. I get that. I get asked that a lot too. Like, how do you fit all that hair in that bun? I'm like, a hair tie. Shocking. Like, I get it though. Like, it is really long and it is really thick and curly. And so it when it does get into a small bun, it looks confusing. But swear, long hair tie, thick hair ties does the job. Um, but yeah, no. The petting is probably my biggest one that I'm just like I'm always on the cusp of like, would you pet your hair like this? But then
Facts.
I'm like, I'm in public. I probably shouldn't ask that.
No, facts, facts. Well, I appreciate you for coming on the podcast, talking, and kind of sharing your experiences and everything like that. If you don't have any questions for me, I don't necessarily have any more questions for you. And I just want to say I appreciate it. And if there's ever anything that I can do to help you or talk about or anything like that, I'm always a resource now for anything I can do. Anything I
Yeah, same, vice versa, same here. Ever want other speaking engagements, want other ideas of people on the podcast,
can. Hmm.
don't be afraid to reach out. Um, yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course, no, I appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you.